How's everyone doing today? Today is Wednesday, February 24th. We have 4 more days of February. It's usually, along with September, one of the worst trading months as some of you guys are experiencing. All the newbies are getting in. Welcome. With that being said, this is a channel dedicated to newbies and intermediate traders. If you are new to the game, if you've got interested because of GameStock or CCIV, RIP, all those kinds of people you want to get involved, I'm the guy to look for. I'm going to show you all the technical analysis that you need to look into to really find the best value for plays and to make some money off of it. If you're an intermediate trader and you are like, you got your style down, but you want to diversify, I hope this week has been evidence that if you do not diversify your portfolio with long-term, short-term, and medium-term stocks from mid-cap, large-cap, small-cap, and even blue chips, and you're not diversified, you're going to get burned. You need to have something to hedge your bets and to keep you afloat and elevated if the market takes a turn for the worst. I am the guy to show you some really good diversification, some great stocks you can put on your watch list to buy in. If you like this kind of content, which I'm sure you will, if you don't like it, why don't you click on this video, right? You're bold enough to find a guy with nose piercings, ear piercings, and pink hair to trust me to even do this correctly, right? That's a bold assumption in the first place. So if you're here already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell notification. It does mean a lot. If you enjoy this video so much that you want to have extra content, not anything that's exclusive for what I've been doing off YouTube, it's extras and upgrades and premium stuff. It's a Discord chat on it. We do a bunch of great calls. We do a bunch of newsletters and stuff. I can probably put that on screen for you. I started to do live calls today. A lot of the folks were like, I want to see what you're buying. So I was like, sure. So I do live calls today. I called ABUS on this video. I just recorded it for the online people, and you get the video early with the premium. I called ABUS this morning. It's already up 10%. So it's on this video too, ironically. So it does help some people. It has some great calls in it. If you want to join, great. If you don't, great. I'll have this relationship with you online through video, just fine. If you want to join in and talk to me directly and send the memes and make the monies, I'm all for it too. With that being said, we have 9 great stocks and 8 good ones for intermediate traders. With that being said, let's get into it. So as always, you can look above me and you can see we have 9 really good plays today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm good at math. 9 really good ones. And you also have about 7, right? Or 8. 8 extra good ones. So you have 9 and 8. 9 really good. 8 okay ones. And again, I implore any beginner to watch just the first 9 for actual trades. You can watch the last intermediate plays for educational purposes, but I would definitely only trade the first 9 that I talk about. Simply because if you're a new trader, if you've been watching for any amount of time on my channel, you maybe have 40, 50, 60 stocks, Dave. To add 9 more to them is going to be a lot. So pick 1 or 2 of your favorites. Even intermediate traders should pick 1 or 2 from each of these lists at most. We don't overtrade here. We're just trying to make good calls. So again, these are all really good, and I like them a lot. But let's get into it. First is ABUS. I like it a lot. It's such a beautiful uptrend, and you may be like thinking, what's the pattern? Because you have an obvious uptrend. Well, we duplicate this line here, and I always say you should do this. Does it line up anywhere? Well, no. So we know it's not necessarily a channel. You could argue that like this is a channel, like this. See how that lines up pretty well with these peaks here, and it breaks out. That's a very valid point to be made. You also see it stops here, so that's definitely a resistance. That's a great point there, but you need to make your move off of whatever support you do it off, so you can make it here and be like, well, this was a broadening wedge, as you can see, and it broke. You can also come over here and say that this is an ascending triangle, right? It's going back and forth. There's no real clue on what pattern it is. All I know is that it looks very bullish compared to what it used to be. You could say it's a horizontal channel. If that's the case, you're buying towards the middle. But this incline is not an accident, I don't think. And even if it was a horizontal channel, I would consider this to be the channel right here. And so we're actually buying fairly low, which is not a bad thing at all. So it's not a bad look at all where we're at. So I think it's good either way. I bought in today at $4.04. I'm technically down. No, it's fine. So this is a really good pickup. Really clear stop loss, right? If you really want to go bold, you can be like, well, I'll stop loss 15, 16%. That's too much. I'm probably going to do 4 or 5%. If this doesn't hold, this uptrend doesn't hold, I'll probably get rid of it and then buy back in. So looking really good. Super nice uptrend here. ABUS, a great pickup. Let's check the indicators. What's really cool about this channel in particular is that I don't go over the indicators when I choose these. I do it strictly off price action, and then I go through these with you live. So whatever I call and whatever I see is exactly what I'm seeing in live time. So the EMA lines are definitely respected, especially the 200. You can see how I bounced with the 200. That's going to be the move. If it breaks above the 200, which I don't see why it shouldn't, in theory, you have 3 green in a row looking pretty good. If this can break above the 200 and hold, it's going to be a great sign. If you want to wait for both a 200 and a 50 crossover, see when it does that, you make really good gains every single time. Another valid strategy. I buy into value and get burned more often than not than most people, but I also have very tight stop losses, so it's not that big of a deal. RSI is a dummy low. That's great. Stochastic was dummy low and showing life. We need to take back that 200, so it's a fine sign. And the Vortex is super low. For this one, you can see how well the Vortex matches the red positive, or how the green positive match up well with these runs. So let's see how long it takes to reverse when a green's down below a red. 9 days. Over here was about 10 days, and then another 14, so 14 days, 7 days, 9 days. So we have about 9 days usually where the red's above the green, and as of right now, we're about day 6. So I think it may be low for the next 3 days. Sure. Did I get a good deal? Sure. Am I going to freak out on Friday when there's a sell-off? Probably. Nope. I'll hold. So a good pickup, maybe give it a day or two if you're more risky or more risk averse. But again, ABUS is a fantastic pickup. Next is DHR. This is a beautiful ascending triangle that's forming because you can come and draw a line like right here and see that we have it making really good moves. We've had higher lows. You could also argue that this is now a horizontal channel and we're right at the bottom as well, so we're not freaking out even if that's not the right call in the ascending triangle. But we got it. I got in today. It's right here. Easily can make 4 or 5%, which may not seem like a lot, but if my floor for a decent move is 4% and it's very low risk, I don't stress at all, it's a good pickup in my book. It could also easily make 9%. One thing to consider is that every time it hits this area, it's 13 days of consolidation, almost a month of consolidation, right? So it can take a while. But again, if it goes up 1%, see how it goes up 2 or 3%. If I can just buy it again down here and just average down at 221, then let it come back up and hit about 225 and sell it and make 10, 15 bucks every other day, that's fine with me too until it takes off. So it's a good look. It's a really good looking uptrend. And if it does follow the trend line, it's not going to be down here for too long because it's not going to want to break it. It wants to stay inside of it and then move off and take off. So really good pickup. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. So it broke both EMA lines. And again, you need to understand those are going to be resistances moving forward. Are they going to be super strong? Yeah, they're going to probably, again, lead to you getting kind of stuck. You see how over here it got trapped between both of them and it had no idea which one wanted to go. We want to kind of see it right now. Let the 50 come down, take over the 50 and then reverse over the 200. That's probably going to be the play here. But we're oversold on the RSI. It's happened only once, and when you did, you bought in early 10% on a relatively easy move. Over here, got super low again. You would have made 8% on a relatively easy move, and we're over here again. Stock is low, Vortex is low. Again, an absolute bop. You can also even see from here up to here down from here down is definitely a divergence. So again, we have that going forward as well. DHR, a fantastic pickup. I like it a lot. Super low risk, super low stress. Look into it. It's a great pickup. Next is DOCU. This has been a fantastic channel. I called it the other day at the support line, and here we are again. So it does break this channel, right? It started off beneath it, and then it broke it a few times. So no, do not stress if it breaks a little bit. It's okay. This is a really good area to buy at, though. Hopefully it has a small pullback tomorrow for you who are not into it yet. Pulls back maybe like 233. It is an expensive stock, but again, you buy 4 shares of it for $1,000 and it moves up, 19%. It's some good money, my dude. It's pretty good. $100 right there. So looking really good where it's at. It's a really easy channel. Support's right there. No earnings have happened recently, so I think it's good to go. I can double check that if earnings does come. I wouldn't be all that nervous. Now again, it got super overbought here, but over here it shot up. So we're at the bottom, so I wouldn't be too worried. And if it does break, let's say this does break from an earnings call, if there is one, or it just dies, it's going to come down to 189. Right, it comes down here because this is definitely a channel in itself. If this does break down, there's no real strong supports until 200. It comes down here, make a full move. You may lose 5-10% on a bad call here, but you'll make up 30% buying back in and riding it back up. So really good looking channel. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. Just like many of these with the sell-off, it's below the 200, but it's fighting to get above it. See how it tested it and died? See how it tested it and died? It tested it and died. It tested it and died. But then what did it do? Took it over. Took it over. Took it over. So it may come back down, and I would expect tomorrow, in the next few days, it takes over the 200. If it doesn't, I'm not going to freak out. But again, I'm going to think back. It usually taps once and then takes it over. Take that into consideration historically with the data. If it does break it and doesn't get it, if it does tap and doesn't take it over and it comes back down, you know, and maybe we'll be a little bit concerned, but not too much. It gets oversold, and when it does, it makes money every single time, and we're just oversold. That's great. Like I said, the stochastic looks like it may pull back tomorrow. Pardon me. If it does, it's not a terrible thing. I am personally in pretty low, so I'm not going to freak out. If it does pull back just a little bit, you should buy in. Vortex could be a tad bit lower, but it does reverse in this area historically, so I'm not too worried either. It looks like most reversals take, what, 10 days? Yeah, 9 days. Just eyeballing it, 8 days. 6, and it's been about 2. So we got about 4 or 5 more days, probably a consolidation. But DOCU is a fantastic pickup. Check it out. I like it a lot. Next is EPAM. Now, when I first saw it this morning and this afternoon, it was like over here, and that would have been much better than where it is now. It has moved up a good 5%, which again, we're giving up risk versus reward a little bit so we can have confirmation of a good move. So this may be a little bit too high for some of you. That's fine. Don't buy in. If you're waiting for a cross, I'm guessing what's happening. I'm also assuming it's bouncing off a 200 here, just based off the shape. Kind of looks like it's going to be doing that. It just had earnings. Looks like it was an overreaction. Looks like it was an overreaction. Looks like it was nothing. So when it overreacted, what did it do? Came back up. When it bounced off, what did it do? Come back up. So it's a good sign that it may have some more, power, some more gas in this bad boy. Let's see what's up. It was a good deal earlier. Now it's not a bad deal by any means, but it's definitely not a great deal which you would want to buy into almost no matter what. Let's check the indicators though. Ooh. They call me ranch because I be dressing. No, it's just that it's a 200. Yeah, it's bounced at 200. Right, so I did exactly what I thought I was doing. That's pretty cool. And it needs to break the 50. If you are, that's not a bad idea for this one for sure. Wait for a cross. If it doesn't come up here and it just comes up and taps it and dies on you, well, come back down prior to here and you can rebuy in. That's great. If it does cross it, give it a day. It's gonna it usually retests it. See, it comes up and what it do? Test. It comes through and what's it do? Fake out. What's it do? Test. So you want to wait for a retest, usually these kinds of stocks. So you might wait for that crossover and a retest. That's fine. RSI was dummy low. It has plenty of room to run up. It does get stopped though. See how sometimes right here, you look at the run ups over here, stopped, stopped, stopped. So it's a chance it may kind of spur out here, pull back, then go back up. The stochastic says there's plenty of room to run up. That's good. Vortex is dummy low. Again, 8 out of 10 play. Would be 10 out of 10 if we got into it yesterday. But with the huge sell-off, none of us knew when it was going to reverse at. So EPAM is a great pickup nonetheless. Next is ERIE. This is one I've been playing for a while, and I called it 2 or 3 times now to some pretty good success. The channel is pretty strong, but it's definitely not perfect. You can see it's been on this tear for a very long time, but as time goes on, it's kind of breaking it more and more, which shows you that this will not last forever. Right, this kind of steep increase, it's only gone up 80% in a year. So that's not unheard of, right? That's definitely not like some insane like 5,000%. It's sustainable for a little bit longer, but we're getting lower and lower highs, so it's kind of wedging off. You can see too, if you were to connect these, this line and this line, it's kind of coming to an impasse eventually. So this will not last forever, and tomorrow is earnings. So I'm not going to buy into it today. I noticed too that when it does hover down here, it took me about 5 days reverse. Took it about 5 days reverse. We're day 0. So let's not get trigger happy. Now if we can get a good deal, that's different than trigger happy, right? If we can get a deal down here at like 246, which may not seem like a lot, but that is a difference of like 0.3%. It lowers our risk, right? That's all we're trying to do is lower our risk. And then opportunity cost says if we have 5 days of consolidating, I can go find a 3-day swing while this consolidates and then take that and put it back into this, right? So we don't want to tap all of our currency and all of our capital too soon. but you don't want to miss the move either. It's all about fine balance, which you're comfortable with. So we're right down here, right where you want it. Let earnings come and go. Like last time earnings happened, it sank it. Last time it didn't do anything. So not freaking out. Dividends do well for it. Dividends always do good for a stock, almost 9 out of 10 times. We have no news of dividends yet, but again, it looks like it's done pretty good. You know, $2 a stock that you own, you know, it's pretty good stuff, man. You own 10 of them, you get 23 bucks. May not seem like a lot, but that does add up when you get a lot of money. So really easy channel, great support. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. So it's bouncing off the 200 once, twice, 3 times. Will I be shocked if it kind of consolidates sideways as this catches up and then it taps and takes off? I won't be shocked at all. But it's very quick. Like you see here, it tapped here and took only 5 days. But over here, it tapped and took only 3 days, and this one only took like a few hours. So if that does happen, which would be great, just for the fact that then we have real confirmation of risk management being handled for us, $9 cheaper, really good. If that does happen, right, you got to be quick on the draw. It could be a tad bit lower. Okay, every single time, low, low, low. RSI I do trust, so I think this may take a small pullback. Stock is low, Vortex is low. Again, give it 2 or 3 days, let earnings come and go. If we have an overreaction, that's going to be sick. Even if the overreaction does completely tank it down to like the 209s or the 197s, then we have a horizontal play. And again, we can really mitigate risk if that happens. So again, ERIE looks good. I'd give it a day or two. But right now, a great deal. If it does tank, we'll play off the horizontal play. Looking really good. Home Depot, or as it was meant to be called, Home Depot, looks pretty good. It's the other, I've bought in 3 stocks today. This is the other one I bought into. I got in right at the bottom here, like 258, 259. So I'm waiting for it to kind of reverse. It does have very quick reversals. Now it does consolidate. Like it does come down, and it took, 6 days. It took 4 days. It took, 5 days. But that's pinnacle for maybe like a day or two, right? And I say fast in terms of a 180-day chart. So like it takes 6 days to swing. And it only takes about, what's a full move? It took maybe 18 days, so, it's pretty quick. It's not going to make you a butt ton of money. 10% is going to be a full move. But when it comes to these, and I keep talking about this, when it comes to the cornerstones of your portfolio, you need to have blue chips and bullish ETFs. I'm not saying put 80% of your capital into these because that's going to be boring and it's going to be really, really slow. But 25% needs to be long-term holds. I mean, to some degree. Because when you have red days in the short term and, the S&P's up 1% and then some stuff on your portfolio drops and you're up 3% on the S&P because it's the 3 times leveraged ETF, you made 3% off that, it makes it hurt just a little bit less. So this is a really good long-term hold. Can it come down further? Sure. It's at $259, right? Nothing is saying that these previous lows, now it was on a really nice uptrend before the March hit. It was on a really nice uptrend. So I think it's probably right where it would be in line with if this never happened. It'd probably be right over here anyways. So that's a good sign nonetheless. So it could be, a bit higher, could show some life. But when it comes to fair value off of a overreaction of a earnings play, right? Overreaction, it's coming, earnings, overreaction, and what it do. So I think it's a really good play. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. It respects the 200 and the 50. I'm not going to be shocked at all if it comes up and taps it, at 5% and then dies. If that's the case, I'll probably sell half my position, let it drop down, and then buy more. When it gets down lower, it's oversold. You would have made money every single time. So that's a great sign. Stock could be a little bit lower. It's really showing some life today, though. You got to remember it was down here. It went up to, here. That's 3%, right? That's $8 difference, and now it's down. If I were to pull up ATR real quick, which shows you the size of candles, I got this. I bet it's not that high. It moves on average $3.80 per candle, and it moved up $8 a day. That kind of makes sense while the stochastic's getting overdone, right? That kind of makes sense. I'll leave it on here for now. And then the Vortex is dummy low. So again, it's a great setup. I like it a lot. It's a 10 out of 10. It's just you need to start padding your stats with some of these long-term holds. It's going to move slow. You're going to check in 3 weeks and says 5%. And you'll be like, well, that's a waste. Well, that 5% when shit hits the fan will really cover one of your big losses, right? It's not a bad pickup at all. Next is IRWD. I was watching it over here for this bounce, and it died. We got out early, and now we're having a really good horizontal channel play. If we zoom out, you can see that this is a newer IPO. Go back as far as you want. It's down here, it's bouncing around. It was higher, but down here, this is where the low is. And if it breaks this, it's a terrible sign for this going long term. But for now, yeah, you could probably get in a little bit lower, but 2.5%, your stop loss can be 6%. You'd be like, that's a lot of money. That's a big chunk. Yeah, but you can easily make 15, 18, 20% on an easy move here. It moves very quickly. It does consolidate. It's currently consolidating. It had earnings. And what's that mean? Overreactions. Here's the earnings up here. It ran up and then it came down. Here's earnings. It ran up and it came down. So I'm thinking they may run down and then come back up. So with that being said, right at the volume bottom here, and I talk about volume profile a lot, right? I'm not going to get into this because I've talked about this before. It's very low volume down here. No one has even bought any shares besides this one candle below $8.63. What technically or what fundamentally has changed that would push the price down to $7.50, for example? Nothing. I have not found anything, right? So this stock, everyone can agree, even at, $9, $8.50, the median price is going to be up here in the 1050s. So it's a great sign looking at volume profile. Easy read. Let's check the indicators. So it breaks both EMA lines. That makes sense given the market structure. You want to wait for a crossover? That's fine. I'm going to buy in now. They're going to both be resistances moving forward. If it hits the 15, dies, and comes back down, I will not be shocked. The RSI is dumb low. Fighting off a yawn. Got it. Stochastic is low, and I don't see any real divergences. I mean, you could have been like, it's hard to do these sometimes. Like, it would be here to here, but you cut through action, so it doesn't really count. So no divergences. Vortex is low. When it does dip, this took 14 days. We're in day 13. Over here, 7 days. This downtrend, 14. So we're right in stride with how long these downtrends take. It looks really good for reversal soon. IRWD, high alert. I like it a lot. Next is PDD. Let's get a full view. Now, I've been watching this for a while. You see that? So that's from old stuff. It must have had something fundamentally changed over the last, year or so to make it take off. But again, it's only gone up 145% in 124 days. On average, a percent a day. Is that a lot? Yeah. But is this going to last forever? Nope. But will we get hopefully one more good move off it? Sure. See why it's going up. But, pin, duo, we'll see. Super easy read though, right? It's right here at 177. Your strong support's 173. If this breaks, you lose 3.5%. But the upward momentum, you could easily gain 15, 20, 30% on the full move in a long-term hold. So check the fundamentals. It needs to break above 187. That's going to be a strong resistance. 187.69. It needs to break above that. But this has been such a consistent stock for so long. I want to see what it can do. If it does show some green tomorrow, I may go long on it. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. By gum, look at this. Oh my goodness, a 200 EMA bounce. Wow. So that's going to be your stop loss. That's going to be really your play there. The channel does line up almost perfectly with that. Not ironically, not on accident. Support's right there. And again, it's above the 200. If it breaks a 50 and crosses it, that can be your sign to go. But that's 8% away, which means you're giving yourself 8% less return and possibly 8% more risk if it collapses. So it's not a bad play at all. It really isn't. It's just not my type of play for this type of stock, right? It was basically oversold, which is good. It's still low. Stochastic's pulling back. That makes sense. It had a really big push up. It went from being down here. It moved up almost 8% in one day. It kind of pulling back makes some sense, right? Vortex is low. Just eyeballing it. It looks like it's going to cross green soon, which is probably going to intersect well with a 50 EMA cross. So that's a fine play right here, but PDD is a great pickup nonetheless. Next is TGD, Target. We love Target. You go to Target with a shopping list and leave with $400 worth of shit you didn't want to come home with. But again, when them towels are on sale, when the decorations are on sale, you got that back to school, you want to get some stuff for your place, you get some, you get some Kleenex boxes and some plates, they fleece you, man. It's crazy. Super easy read though. Now earnings are coming, so take that with a grain of salt. If I were to zoom out real quick, you can see that this is, Target's a great company, but is this going to last forever? No, it's not. Now over here, you could be like, oh, is it going to last forever? Well, it got higher. Or is it going to last forever over here? Well, it got higher. So I'm not going to say It's impossible to go for a lot longer. But again, all we really want, 5, 10, 15% at most, and we're in and we're out. Bing, bang, boom, we like it. So it's an easy read. It's making a horizontal triangle. You're at perfect value, right? This does dip. Let's say it goes bad. You want to hold on to it for 4%. You're now in lower lows territory, 6% some change. It's done for. That's fine. So you're not risking too much. But again, if this does continue, if, Friday, when that stimulus package most likely gets passed and it gets pushed, Target's going to see a big boom as a retailer. So it should be a good play nonetheless. Let's check the indicators. Who knew? Am I a wizard? Look at that. Off the 200, that's your play. Simple stuff right there. You're a hairy wizard. No, I'm kidding. So it's going to need a break above the 50 to show real life. If you want to wait for that, that's great. I like to buy into value. The RSI is dummy low. Stock was low. It's showing life. We need that to get above the 50 and then retest it. Vortex is low, and on this uptrend, it doesn't stay red for very, very long. It doesn't look like it. So it's a good sign. Good. 8 out of 10. It would be 10 out of 10 without being such a high, it's like the high it's ever been. And then also you got to consider too, earnings is coming. And that's not including stock splits. There's probably a chance that the price has been actually higher, but there's been stock splits and consolidations and stuff. So good price. I like it a lot. Target should be on your guys' radar. If you're a beginner, please pause the video or change your frame of thinking. If you want to watch the next 8, that should be all educational purposes. Do not watch these. They're for charting purposes. There are high chances that these 8 plays will be more successful than the original 9 I talked about, but they're much more volatile, and they're also much more prone for an intermediate person to do correctly and for you to probably muff up the entries. So I'm not throwing shade. I just want you to be smart about this. Intermediate traders, let's check them out. Beginners, stop the video or change your frame of thinking. It's time for you to learn, not chart, right? So if you're new here, I keep the indicators on during this part because I want to go through it quickly. AQN we called the other week, and I have the price targets on here. Congratulations, you get some freebies. Now earnings is coming, so I'm a bit worried. I always am. If we zoom out, we can see it's been doing nice and steady. It's been going just fine. It looks a lot like the S&P 500, honestly, which is interesting. That almost mirrors the S&P pretty well. It's looking good. Now, it's very low risk. I would have bought in here, but we're right at the bottom channel, and you can see your risk may be a % or 2. You can really extend that if you wanted to. It's right where you want it to be. A full move, 7, 8, 9, 10%. You're risking maybe a % or 2. It's a great setup. Just watch it. If it does reverse here and show some life, I would definitely go long on this. BLDR Boulder. It would have been a 10 out of 10 if we called it over here. I was waiting for it, and then it got low, and then the market crashed, and I was like, oh, shit, and now it's up 8%. So we missed it. Sure, it's on my watch list. I should have called it. It had an alert set. I did it. My fault. So if you want to wait, I would wait for it to pull back. There's a good chance it's going to test the 50. That's going to be your play. Let it test the 50. Let the stochastic gear back up. You see how well this matches up with the stochastic? That's not an accident. Some stocks do that well. So this is definitely going to have a small pullback. Probably going to test this 50. Test the channel one more time, and then it's going to take off. So keep this on your watch list. It's too high now to buy in, but on the pullback, I would definitely look into it. I've called FLXN damn near 4 times now. It's starting to piss me off. That's all right. It's not a big deal. But it needs to do better. It's right where we want to buy it at. If we can get in here and it lives, okay, you're risking 5 or 6%, but easily can make 15, 20% on a full move, which it does quite often. So I'm waiting for it to show some life. I thought over here we had it. I called it the other day and went up like 6%. I was like, let's go. And now it died. So you want to wait for it to come down lower? Great. You want to buy in when it crosses these? Great. It's up to you. But FLXN should be on your watch list. It's just being a real dick right now. And that's okay. Next is FSLY. It's still a great price. It's a great horizontal channel. Something over here must have really spurred the double in price, and it's holding very well. Now, is this going to be a long-term hold? Yeah, you're going to be in this for possibly, a month. Over here, this full move was 3 weeks. This whole bad boy was almost 2 months. You're going to be in this for the long haul, but this is a great stock to buy now on value. And then when shit hits the fan on a red day, you have this to help boost your confidence, remind you, oh, I actually am good at this. That's okay. So it's right where you want it to be at. earnings overreaction. If you were to be real upset and nervous, 5 or 6%, you could sell and rebuy in. But FSLY, given all the technicals, is a 10 out of 10 setup for sure. I just called it before, so why spend more time on it? FTS, you may be thinking, holy Christmas, Batman, that's perfect. It is. This is a 10 out of 10 play. Here's the issue, though. Oh, you can make 5%. So you're not making that much money. This is definitely a great whale play. And what I mean is you have a shitload of money sitting around. You want a safe play. I think FTS is a great pickup. You can look back historically. It's been here before. Before the crash, it's been nice little baby waves, and now it's just kind of like, well, which way do we want to go? I don't know. It's really, it's just been going sideways for the longest time. That may not seem like a lot of viability for some people, but if you have like a big account and you want to throw $10,000 at a stock and see it move $1, you can see it move up, in 2.5% relatively quickly, right? So I would definitely consider it a good value buy. If you're a beginner too, you want to put like $300 in, $400 at 10 shares of it, right? It dips down a little bit, you sell it, you lose like $10, whatever. But then if it moves up and you make like $50, $60, it's an easy play, right? So it's definitely not breaking the bank or making the bank unless you're rich, but also is not stressful at all. So FTS, a great setup. It's just really good for beginners or whales. What's up, whales? Pay me for my help. Just kidding. So next is GIL. It bounces off the 200. It just did that. And what's it do? 200. Oh, small pullback runs up. 200. Oh, small pullback. It runs up. 200. Small pullback. So it's looking pretty good here. It's a great support area. It's also a really good deal. If it doesn't break the 50, see how it's fighting it. You can see when it ran up above the 50, 6%. That's not a lot. Well, 6% is pretty good. What you want. Ooh. Uh-oh. Live on air, your boy just made some money. You see that alert go off? Yeah, it looks like my trailing stop loss has already kicked in. We'll see what happens. So, good call by me. Back to what I was doing. So, it's looking pretty good here. That's great. That's crazy. I like to buy it a lot. Sorry, I'm a little flustered. But we can see earnings is coming, so it may come back down to 200, and then it happens buying here. But GIL, it's a great step nonetheless. VIRT, again, it's bouncing off the 200. It's just above where I want it. And the risk is going to be huge, 5-10%. It can make massive gains, though, really easily. It's just right where you want it to be at. It's just above it. It's not where I want it at perfectly. I want to get it maybe 1.5% lower. It's just it's a good trend, but it's also towards the top of a horizontal channel, right? To think that this has the ability to go higher, I need some proof. I need some evidence. Now, if it comes back down to $22, hell yeah, I throw the bank at it, right? But given the fact that it's at the top of a horizontal channel, and we have higher highs, I'm not freaking out, right? We can look back over here and see that it has higher highs. It's went horizontally. We may see, it up here, but I think also it may come down to 21 and maybe even lower as 14. So it's a good pickup for a short-term hold, 10, 15 days, but it's not. I don't love it overall right now. VIVO is very similar to VIRT, is that it's right above where I want to buy it. You're going to need to risk 7-8% for a good hold, but you can easily see 20-30% on a good move. It's just a little bit above it. It's testing the 200, which it hasn't broken above yet. If it breaks the 200, it'll come up here. It will die, and it'll retest this and then take off. So it needs to be in your guys' watch list. We'll see what it does. The only thing is that we need to see some form of life until we really buy in, or it needs to be better value. It's in that no man's land. Let's not touch it until we see either clear direction up or clear direction down. And there you guys have it. We have 9 really good plays and 8 good intermediate plays. We just have some more time, and you guys need to kind of perfect your skills. And I trust you to make good decisions. It just comes down to the fact that I don't see them as the best picks right now for those last 8, but they're great learning experiences. They're great ones to chart. But again, if you're a beginner and you're still here, take 1 or 2. Intermediate traders, take 2 or 3 from this and add to your guys' watch list. With that being said, if you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. Join the Discord if you like extras. Again, no pressure. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not doing this so I can make $1 billion. It's not my style anyways. I dress in the same Banana Republic t-shirts every day. I do my own hair. Like, I'm not Mr. Wealthy. You know, if you want to join, great. Come on. If not, it's cool. With that being said, have a good rest of your Wednesday? Wednesday. Yeah, have a good rest of your guys' Wednesday. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for another watch list. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.